I think one of the good things is we just left our new practice facility to come over here, so that was a good way to start the morning. But we're excited to get started. This is certainly a year I can stand up here and say I probably have as many questions as I do answers right now with such a young team. But I've been really happy just with the intensity this team has shown. We've got 7 freshmen on this year's roster, 4 true freshmen, 3 redshirt freshmen. But the core that we're returning, really led by Brett Benzio and Olivia Grayson, I think are 2 people that set a tone for our play, set a tone for our team. Our returners, Ty Snow, Janique Kowski, Brittany McDonald, I think all those players have elevated their game. So this is a year of trying to develop our team week by week, of really trying to get our team to develop. Our freshmen, I think, are very, very talented. They came from very strong high school programs. Have come in, have really impressed a lot of the upperclassmen, have really pushed a lot of the upperclassmen. But, this is a team, as we look through the season, I think we will develop. The great thing about freshmen is they learn to become sophomores, and they get that experience, and they're going to be on the floor quite a bit. We're going to play a lot of young players. They're going to be on the floor. We're going to put them in with our veterans and get them better. And as we start conference play, I think you'll see a team that really has a lot of experience behind them. Our schedule, actually, even starting in the preseason, we play two close scrimmages. Next weekend we play Ole Miss this Saturday, and the weekend after that we play Auburn. I think it's going to tell us a lot. Playing a scrimmage against teams that aren't real strong won't tell you much. This will tell us a lot, and it'll also get the attention of our younger players, just what it takes to play against an SEC caliber opponent. So we're excited. We're kind of tweaking our system as we go, as players really emerge, and it's what, 3 weeks away until we tip off. So we hope we'll be ready.
You coach for so long, and to have a team like this, I mean, do you relish the opportunity when there is so much uncertainty and there's so much teaching, obviously, that's going to go on, or would you rather just have a stacked veteran team running the season?
Well, I think all coaches like to have a veteran team just because you feel like you know what to expect of them all the time. But honestly, as you say, I've coached a long time. I think it's easier for someone who has coached a while not to panic when you're young. We talked about it as a staff. We're teachers this year. That's our number one thing. We're teachers, then we're coaches. And, our job is to take each individual player and try to get them to operate with what they have. And that's been our focus. And we've changed our practices even within practice, things we need to address. That happened this morning. And, we've got to be able to go on the fly a little bit. And then, I guess I'm really happy to have a veteran staff also, because they're able to do that too. But as a coach, you want to be challenged too. And this group, I think we got a great core of kids, and I think they're going to really develop, and we're excited about that opportunity.
You mentioned losing 3 starters, something like 90 starts from last season. How do you expect your identity, I guess, to change with everything running through Brett and
Well, the nice thing is I think Olivia Grayson and Brett Benzio have been a huge part of our game for their whole career. If I'm not mistaken, I think probably Olivia Grayson played the most minutes in the last 2 years of any player. So she's somebody that this is her time now, and I see a big change in those two of looking at it's their time to take the lead here. It will change. Our system will change. I think we had in the past a little more of a equal opportunity type of system, because we had so many different scores that whoever was hot we could go to, wherever the ball went we could go to. We're going to have to run things a lot through those 2 players. Of course, you have a Whitney Bibbins who is a great player too, but it's going to have to start with them and the other players come along. But one part of our game that in 3 weeks of practice that is really impressed me is we hit more outside shots in this couple weeks of practice than we probably did the whole year in practice last year. So I think we can extend the defense a little bit to enable somebody like Olivia Grayson to get to the basket, and also Brett Benzio not to be double teamed. I think we've got that outside shooting that we didn't have in the past, even though the 3-point line has moved back. That was a concern going into the year. With this line move back, how would we be able to shoot out there? And I've been pretty impressed so far.
Coach, you've had a lot of success here. Kind of map out, what do you think that the next step is for this program, other than, you've been a consistent winner for so long. Talk about your goals, not only for this year, but what you'd like to do in the next 3 to 5
Well, I think each year, what you want your team to be is a contender each year. And when you are, when I say contender, to try for that conference championship. The last 2 years we've been in the conference final. 2 years ago we won both the regular season and conference final. You got to get your team to where you're one of the best teams in your league consistently. And that's certainly a goal, and that's what I want to accomplish. One thing we haven't achieved here, we've been in the NCAAs for 10 years. I would love to see this program break through and be a Sweet 16 type of program. That's my goal. Now, as you say, that's a long-term goal that I'd like to have a team that's in contention to where we get in the running. Part of that is seed, is getting in the NCAA tournament and getting a seed to where you can succeed. And but that's a goal for us. And if we can get this program to the level that we consistently are in that top 25 or in that top 30 RPI, then I think that's achievable for us. This young group, and it's funny that you say that, like when you look out in the future, I think the thing with this young group is they're tremendously competitive, and we can bring these kids along with a couple of kids we have committed for this class coming up. This is a group, because they're so young, we may be able to develop them, to try to be a contender through their career. It may not be this year, but it could be something. They're going to get so much experience this year that they're going to come in as sophomores and really have a lot of experience for sophomores.
How important is the health of Brett, throughout the season? She struggled with injuries, and you were able to kind of patch with some veterans. And, you had some experience
right.
in the past.
Well, I'll tell you, the health of our returners, the health of our team is important, but the health of our returning players is huge, because, especially early in the season, because these players have to set the tone of what it's like to play at this level. It's very difficult to go from high school and go and play. We play LSU our third or fourth game of the year. To be able to go and match that type of intensity, those returning players have to show them the way. It's not about coaches telling them. So the success of them, especially in the non-conference, the success for us has to be those upperclassmen, and their health is really important. So far Brett this is the best condition she's been in. She went through the summer without injury, and so we're hoping this could really be her year. One very important statistic I think to really talk about Brett. I mean, she's been a four-year player for us, but she's on pace to get 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in her career, and I think that's a goal for her. It's achievable. I've never coached a player that's done that. And for us to be successful, she needs to get that. She needs to have those rebounds and those points, because we need to have her on the floor.
You mentioned that you have more questions than answers so far, but
right.
So far through practice, is there any names, any freshmen, any youngsters that maybe people should be on the lookout for?
One thing about freshmen is some days there's names and some days there's not, so they're a little inconsistent there. But no, I think this group is really tremendously competitive. I can really describe that. Jamie Kaplan is a point guard from Florida who just has a tremendous competitive intensity and really doing a great job there. Danielle Blagg is about a 5'11" guard who can really shoot. Is a very good athlete. We had a scrimmage the other night, and Tiffany Dale, one of our freshmen, was the second leading scorer in the scrimmage, and that kind of came out of nowhere. But she really, sometimes when the lights are on, some of those kids really come out, and she had a great scrimmage. And we had talked about our Nigerian, the girl that was supposed to play in the Nigerian national team is. She's been out of practice for a couple of weeks, but she's back now, and she's just kind of that broken player, Adesawa. And so I think all those players are going to kind of fit in, and they all complement each other pretty well. But again, I think you're going to have good games from them, and then maybe slide and then come up again. But those players have added. The nice thing about these freshmen is I think they're going to come in and contribute. Sometimes you have freshmen, you bring them in and you say, well, we're going to get them some minutes when we can. But I think they're able to come in and really challenge. So. Anything else? Thank you.